When it comes to small business, everything is personal. Welcome to the Making Business Personal podcast, presented by Collective Alternative. Join me, Levi each month as I sit down with marketing professionals and small business leaders to discuss common challenges small businesses are facing with their marketing and share strategic solutions and tactics you can implement to enhance your presence and make your brand stand out among the rest. Let's get personal. Welcome back to the Making Business Personal podcast. I'm your host, Levi Trageser, and today I'm here with Brian Adams with Godby Hearth Home. So thank you for coming and being on the show today.
It's great to be here, Levi.
So today we're talking all about SEO, why it matters, how it's impacted you and your business, and then kind of your journey with CA in terms of SEO and just in general, and how we've made some shifts over time and what that's looked like. So without further ado, let's kind of jump into when you came on with CA and why was SEO so important to you at that point in time?
So actually, I think it was 2017 is when we came on board with CA. And actually, I can't tell you it was important to me at that time because I really was not aware of it. SEO to me was not something I was familiar with, how it worked, the optimizations tools that you guys utilized. So when in 2017, we had just finished, myself and another person in the company, built our own website. We used a software package and we built a website and we were very proud of it and we thought it was one of the coolest things around. It set our brand the way we wanted it. Amanda comes in with her team. They analyzed the website. I told them they couldn't touch it because it was ours and it was my baby, and realized quickly that we built a website that no one would see. So I think the SEO score on that website was somewhere around 60, and quickly learned that if it wasn't in the 80s, nobody would see it. So we got to the realization that, hey, this was a fun thing to do, but nobody's really enjoying it like we are. So that's when CA came in and really took control of that. And kudos to CA, because I would not let them touch that website themselves. It was still just a priority with me, and they worked around us diligently and slowly but surely improved the score on that website up into the high 70s. I think it even touched 80 a little bit. And the website was not really designed or built with the SEO in mind. So that's when I got charged up about it and when I started seeing the impact of what that could do for us.
And with that messaging and the way that CA was able to help that, what did that process look like on your end as a business owner working with CA to modify and optimize that search engine optimization, but also keep your messaging and your branding and keep your baby as untouched as possible?
Yeah, that was when I first realized the branding of CA was, and what I've always appreciated it is we still have a voice in what our marketing and what our brand is, and they tailor that to us. And that was what was going on with that whole SEO. I mean, they were battling to get this number up on our behalf, but at the same time, the biggest limiter they had was us as a customer, as a client, because we were holding back and saying, no, we really like these GIFs. We really like these videos. We really like these things that are slowing down pages. We really want to have all this verbiage in here with nothing, struggling with the content. So, they worked for several years with us building that up, but understanding that it was still, ours to, the message was still ours. Right. So, and that was really the beginning of working with CA, was where I really felt like I still had control of our message, our brand, and what we wanted to do as a company. And CA was there really to facilitate the best they could in spite of us.
Yeah. How would you say you've worked with CA to navigate to where we can now know your message and know your brand and the way that you say things, want things worded? Because we ended up, fast forward a little bit, build a brand new site. How do you feel CA captured that voice and your brand?
So I think what goes through a lot of our process with CA is simply that communication through the process. CA knows that they don't have to give us a finished product to present to us out of the gate. They know that we want to have input on it. So they do a great job of facilitating the beginning of the project, whether it's a Facebook post or a blog or whatever that is, website content, and then after that, give us the opportunity to review it, evaluate it, discuss it. Mm-hmm. And over time, the CAs continued to build an understanding of how we want to present ourselves. So I think it's just really all about communication. It's really about understanding that we want to be a piece of that. Now, I'm sure that CA, like other marketing firms, have some companies that don't even want to talk about it. They just say, go do what you do and let me alone. And that's fine, but it's rare to find a company. And I'd looked for, worked with marketing firms in the past, and it was rare to find someone that was willing to let us stay engaged in the process.
And with those other ones, how did the longevity compare to how long you've been with CA? And do you think that's helped? How we've been able to capture?
The longevity was relatively short. I mean, for several reasons, but the other thing is the business model CA has of investing based on time and not just based on processes or, let's say, placement of ads and so forth. Most of the marketing firms I had dealt with in the past, it was all about placing ads and, spending money on this, spending money on that, to the point of, that's how their fees or structure was, which is fine. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that process. But CA, I really like the process of actually paying CA for their time, their expertise, and it's not really, there's not this markup product that they're selling with us. That's what I probably appreciate most about it.
And with that, that's one thing that CA, we build those custom strategies, every year and then shift within that. How has your strategy shifted since you started with CA to where you're projecting to go here in 2023?
I don't know if my strategy as a company has really changed in our marketing. So one of the things that's unique about our company, everybody thinks their company is unique, so I have to have that same approach. We sell a wide range of products. So we have three main categories. We have a fireplace, hearth, accessories, product category that includes anything from fireplaces all the way down to gas logs, glass media, a wide range of product. Then we have our custom glass and mirror, which includes shower doors as well as custom mirror projects, glass railing systems, all the things related to glass. And then we have this outdoor living area that is primarily outdoor fireplaces, but also grills, grill islands, fire pits, those types of accessories as well. So when you take a company that has those three diverse categories, our brand started probably about 2012. We decided that we wanted to market all those products in a way that when people were looking for those products, we were seen. Mm-hmm. And that's that SEO concept that really CA brought us along rapidly after 2017. So our whole strategy was, we have this element of branding us, but really the brand we found was very confusing with all the different product categories. So it was a struggle to brand Godby Hearth Home, but then sell a fire pit. Mm-hmm. So when CA came on and redeveloped our website and went through the CEO process, what happened was they really helped us get out there, and really our marketing strategy is this: if people are looking for one of our products, we will be seen. And it's as simple as that, and that's what they've stayed focused on, is giving us visibility, not necessarily as Godby Hearth Home, but visibility as a company that is in this marketplace, this product category.
Yeah, and let me share a quick stat. So the top page listed is click-through rate is somewhere in about 32%. So back to the importance of, they're looking for a fireplace, you really need to be up there at the top, because very few people go to multiple pages on Google to do that. So was that at all thought of when you built the website yourself that first time? Was any of those sorts of things how you were going to have visibility for fireplaces and all these other services that you have? Was that a thought in your mind when you were doing it, or was it more, we're going to make this thing look awesome and have the information we really want?
It was more the latter. We really were focused on the quality of the website, not really understanding the front end of that. Now, without dating myself, I would tell you that, back in the day, that actually we had two websites built by other companies before we built, which was our third one. CA's one they produced about a year ago is actually our fourth website. And one of the things that I remember talking about back in the first two or three, it was all keywords. The SEO was pretty simplistic for a long time. It was keywords, you'd have to put in keywords, and you'd have them listed, embedded in the pages, and theoretically that was all you had to do. So when we built the website, we did that. We were embedding words in pages to try to create that. We didn't understand any other concept of these SEOs as related to speed of download and this and all the other
metadata and all of that. Yeah.
Right, all the other algorithms that took place. So, we focused on one item, which I think has become a less and less significant item in the whole process. But that's all we really were aware of.
What differences have you seen in your site since, I guess, in that first site, once SEO work began? What differences did you notice then, and then what differences did you see with this new site compared to that other site?
So the site we built, I to this day think it was really a pretty good site. We really liked it. It had our brand stamped all the way through it. So I really liked that site. I felt like, for myself and the other Alex Minner, who was the other guy, for two guys that never built anything before, it was kind of an experiment that actually worked. The whole key with the SEO is obviously people weren't getting to our site.
Yeah.
But once CA started getting people into our site and we looked at the SEO numbers and we started to see more people getting on the site, what we realized is the site itself did what it was supposed to do. It was holding people. We've always, historically, even when we didn't have the traffic flow, we still always had a relatively low bounce rate. We always had a pretty good page view. We had time on the site. All those numbers of people getting to the site were always usually above average. And I think that continues with the website we have today. And I think that, to me, speaks that CA understood us enough that when they built the site, they continued with that.
What are some of the features you like most about the new site, or what kind of inspired that process to come about?
So, obviously every website has a limited life, right? I would say that because technology improves and what people are looking for, the development of phones now being, mobile devices. You got to think back, it wasn't that long ago when we built the site back probably about 2013, 14, that site, we'd have thought of nothing other than a desktop. The idea of looking up that website on a phone was not even around, and that's only 10 years ago. So the speed at which technology has moved really dates websites pretty quick. Obviously, the thing that I like about the new one is it's mobile friendly. It's got great spacing. It's got a lot of call to action through it. It still has the information piece that people really drill down into. But it just makes it, so there's actually people out there in the world, I think, that are entitled user experience people. That's what they do, is they build things based on the user experience. And that's an element that, we could have never done, internally. But the CA site is really that. I think it has a great positive user experience.
And I would agree. And I think one thing I want to touch on and see what you have to say on is, with your site in particular and bringing people to your site, what is it that you aim to get out of that experience? And what do you aim for them to get from your website when they get in there?
Yeah. So, and the other thing that I would tell you in working with CA, I think one of the things, as much as we encumber them sometimes with our processes, the one thing that we've been able to do is clearly define what we want and how we want it. And we've defined our business model for years as our job is to provide information so the customer can make an informed decision. And it's a very simple statement, but it's very hard to do, because you don't know what information the customer already has. You don't know what information is important to them. And quite honestly, there's a wide range of people that make decisions with different levels of information. But that is one thing that we've always pushed, and I think that's what the website does. It doesn't necessarily give them all the answers, but it kind of gives them a feel for what questions or what information they do need to gather in making their decision. And I think that's why people come back on it. We have a high rate of people coming back through. And then I think it's because of that, and I think people come into the store because they want more. They want more information. And our website says, look, we can help you with this. It sends that message. Here's information, but there's more. And that's why they reach out to us.
Yeah. So with SEO, it's kind of more of a long-term play and something that, is ever changing, always got to keep up on. As you know, there's many small businesses that do many of the same things. There's box stores that do many of the same things as these small businesses do. So, we've already kind of touched on it a little bit, but how important is it with over 2 billion websites out there that, and so many competitors, even in your own market, how important is it to be clear on your messaging and branding, and, how do you set Godby apart from everybody else?
Mm-hmm. That's a great question. I don't know if I have enough time to answer all those pieces there. But, at the end of the day, what people are really wanting to do is they're using we don't have a shopping cart. We're not a type of a website people are going to buy. But we are a website that has unique product categories that people need to learn. So I think that, the evolution of the SEO and continually moving, I don't know how any company, a small company like us, could ever keep up with all that and doing all the programming and stuff. So it's clearly in the last 10 years, this whole concept of SEO has elevated to a level. You need to hire a professional that's going to be able to manage it, monitor it, and maintain your level of exposure. But as I said earlier, our big deal in marketing, our overlay of marketing is we want to be seen when people are looking for our products. And that's exactly what SEO does. And that's exactly what CA has been able to keep us on the forefront of that. People, whether they pick a large company or a small company, those are all individual decisions. One of the things I always get people ask me, well, how many people are hitting your site, and what's your ROI, and what's this? I don't understand all that stuff. But what I do understand is the majority of the people that hit our site, CA has done a very good job of they are our customers. We don't run into a lot of people doing request quotes or request a service or coming into the store that have been on our website that don't qualify as how we define our customers. And I think that's really important. There are some people that, they want a very simple product. They want something that's more of a, for lack of a better word, a product that's more disposable, shorter life term, which we don't sell that type of a product, which you could probably get at a big box store. Well, I think our website sets us up to grab the customer that we think we can best serve. And that's really another level that I think in websites. I've had people tell me we have 20,000 hits a month on a website, or 30,000 hits a month, whatever those numbers are. But if 80% of them are not your customer, that you didn't drive them there in a very strategic way, all they're doing is taking up your time.
Yeah, and all they're doing is getting traffic and clicks don't necessarily lead to the sales part, which I thought was interesting. You talked earlier about distinguish how you look at marketing as getting you that traffic and clicks, and then you guys on that sales end. So have you had a lot of success even in the past with other websites and other ways of people coming in to where that success rate's a little higher maybe than other companies, or is that something that's newer with more of the new website and,
Yeah, obviously the term word of mouth is not as critical as what it used to be. It's good for repeat business and referral business, but the initial business, which is what marketing's trying to draw as that first-time buyer for your company, it's changed dramatically. But for us, the numbers have gone up. But just think about it. These people are also the people back in 2008, they looked us up in the yellow pages. And we were in the yellow pages in 2008. Probably pretty heavy in the yellow pages in 2008. So it's just the media or the communication line that allows them to find us and keep moving through. But yeah, we get a lot of people that have never been in our store. They've never really known us. But once they get on the website, now they're requesting a quote, requesting service, stopping into the store. We do ask people how they heard about us, and I would say substantially all of them are on a phone, and they say, I looked you up, I Googled you. So, and they will walk in, and they were 5 minutes away from us, or they were 10 minutes away from us. They Googled us on a phone, and they showed up in the store 10 minutes later. So, yeah, we're very visible where we need to be.
Yeah, and that's another aspect, too, of visibility is, when they're Googling you and, your Google My Business and all of those pieces play into your visibility in general. And that's something that's, really great to hear on our end, that our job's being done and, getting you the right customers, not just getting you clicks and not just getting you views on your site, because you can push anybody to a site, but, is it the right person? Are you closing those, deals? And you touched on earlier the yellow pages. For a business owner who may have been around as long as that and has had to shift, what would you say to somebody who's maybe hesitant on all this SEO and doesn't know how it works and maybe, doesn't trust maybe, and, how did you kind of come around to all of that, and what was your learning curve, and how could you...
First of all, when I was in the yellow pages, I was 12, okay? So we need to understand that it really, any business owner is looking out in this dynamic of technology, this dynamic of, the internet has, I've in my lifetime, in my career, I've seen it go from nothing to where it is today. And so it's a fast rate. And I think most everybody, including myself, once you got into past 2010, you realize if you weren't on this train, you were being left way behind. And so I think everybody has moved in that direction. And I even think, things like Yellow Pages and other mediums of advertising, a lot of that traditional stuff has shifted as well. They've shifted. Mm-hmm. So, so it's really not, that's why more than ever, hiring a professional in your marketing piece is very important, because they're going to keep you on the cutting edge of the technology, the things you should be doing, and working through that. And it's like any other small business. So there's only so many things I can do and be proficient with. Mm-hmm. That's why we don't do our own payroll. That's why we outsource human resources. That's why we outsource attorneys. That's why we outsource, other people as well. And to me, marketing is just an extension of that. I don't know how any small business can operate on their own and have any kind of a realistic marketing plan. I had a guy tell me one time that 50% of your marketing dollars are wasted. The key is you don't know which 50. And I've always kept that in my mind when I'm spending money on marketing. And I would not say that is the case today when dealing with CA, that I'm losing 50% of it. But if you're just blindly trying to try this and try that, I guarantee you're spending a lot of money.
Absolutely. I would agree. And what are some of the ways you've seen, maybe not particularly ROI, but how have you seen marketing come through to where that you're spending your dollars well in the way that you want to see that dollar spent, and then the adverse reaction?
Well, it's pretty simple. You can make that as complicated as you want, but we track our foot traffic, and we see how people are coming in and finding us. Because again, we're not branding the company overall; we're branding particular products. Most people come in, they have a specific product they're looking for, which tells us they have found us through a product category, which is what our goal was. And then the second piece of that is overall revenue. On our retail piece of our company has gone up every year, substantially for the last 10 years. So, it was building, it was going when we got with CA, but it's continued to grow and to hit higher and higher levels. So, at the end of the day, you can't piece it down in detail, but everybody that walks in there is finding us through a Google search, and they're finding the product. They didn't say, I need to go to Godby. And I think that's a key piece, is that was our marketing plan, and that's what CA executed for us.
Absolutely. Well, I really appreciate you coming on today and spending time with me and, helping other business owners out there make smarter and more informed decisions. So until next time, thank you for listening out there, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for listening to the Making Business Personal podcast. Do you have a marketing question for our team? Want to hear more about a topic? Let's get personal. Connect with us, submit your questions, and share any feedback at collectivealternative.com. And don't forget to subscribe so that way you never miss an episode. We'll see you next time.